I gave the Peaky Blinders 350 last week.
I gave him 275 the other day. You gave him Peaky Blinders 275. Now they're gonna keep coming back.
They're gonna keep coming back. They gonna send.
They get that 350.
They gonna send another brother. They gonna send another brother. 350 turns to 450. I wish I knew that character's name so I could be Tommy Shelby talking to that black old man from South Park.
South Park, right?
Go ahead, sit down.
That's it's Chef's dad.
Yeah, it's Chef's dad.
Yeah.
Mr. Chef's dad. Go on, have a seat.
I'm gonna look him up. I'm gonna see what his name is.
It's fine now. This is breaking news. Breaking news on Throwing Hands podcast. Chef's dad's name. I guarantee it's just Chef's dad.
Thomas McElroy.
Thomas McElroy?
Yeah, that's Chef's father.
It's kind of
who lives in
name.
Scotland.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. No, because it's Loch Ness. Don't give the Loch Ness monster no treat, fitty.
Yo, he's in ties with the Peaky Blinders. It all makes sense. Wait, you said his first name is Thomas?
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
They're both Thomas.
I hear your name is also Thomas.
Great name.
A lot of power in that name. Now I hear you come from Scotland. I hear you have ties with the Loch Ness Monster. You're going to go to that Loch Ness Monster. You're going to
give him 350
every day for the rest of your life. In return, you have protection. By order of the Peaky fucking Blinders.
I ain't giving that Loch Ness Monster no tree fitty know how.
It's the one man Tommy Shelby can't beat. It's
Chef's dad.
Fuck yeah.
When I knock people out, they don't fucking move. Who the fuck is that guy? Oh, don't be scared, homie.
Welcome to Throwing Hands.
You're playing touch butt with that dork in the park, the ponytail.
My balls are
hot. Well, I'll start this recording off by saying that today is the first of all, welcome everybody to Throwing Hands podcast. Welcome in, sit down, put a pack of peas right there on, get a nice steak from the freezer, throw it right there. You just got in from a fight, so let's talk about it. Let's start today by saying today is officially go over to twitch.tv/supersourgames, support our channel, hit the follow button over there, hang out with us, hang out and chat, because today will be the first official day that we will be dropping in for democracy.
For democracy!
We are joining the fight on Helldivers 2. Yeah, you gotta bring it up here. It's like this.
Is it up here?
No, it's not up here. It's right here. It's tight to the shoulder. Tight to the shoulder, and you gotta kind of like. Hey, what's up, Helldivers? What's going on in here, eh? What's up?
I was doing Mac.
Fuck. I think Mac should know that. That's lean like a cholo right there. I think Mac should know that, but that is exactly.
It's his elbow dance.
You're right. Whoops. Too many things blend together in references in my head. One reference can't be one, it has to be three.
Either way, still funny.
Still funny. So like I said, go over there to twitch.tv/supersourgames and watch us join in on the fight. Also, as you see today, Darnell is not here again. Everybody give your best wishes to Darnell. Let's hope that he is not sick for the rest of the year, as he is so sick that the man tried to make it today, just couldn't do it. He
died.
He died right on the mic, yeah. So yesterday was UFC in Mexico. Yeah, and let me just say from my personal opinion, I'm going to say two things. Before we talk about the fight, I want to say, one thing before we talk about the fight, then I want to talk about the fight. First thing I want to talk about is PayPal is the worst service online ever for money. I mean, it really is. It really is. If you use PayPal and you're a Twitch guy, I mean, it seems like it's the only way. I'm sure there's other ways to go about it. I'm sure most people just deal with bits now and get paid out because they already have high amount of subscribers, and that's where the bits don't go to any PayPal. Like when you donate bits and all that, it goes right to your current money that you're making as a fucking partner. So all that goes there. So I'm sure most people just do that nowadays. But donations do still come in, and apparently you got to use PayPal for that shit. And I mean, PayPal, you just suck. So I was locked out of my PayPal last night. I got a donation so that way we can join the fight for democracy. And I was like, cool, now we can dive in. And unfortunately, PayPal was like, whoa. I don't know who you are.
Who are you?
And I was like, all right. So then PayPal makes you just do all these random fucking things. It literally 3 of them are all things just like confirming like what you just got sent money wise. And that's really what ticked it off, by the way. Recently getting donated was what them being like, whoa, who the fuck? So then, you tell them.
Doesn't get donations.
Yeah. So then it's like, you got to just tell them, like, you got to customly tell them, like, it's a donation from Twitch. And I was like, it's a friend who died. So I had to type in 3 different times, 3 different ways. It's a friend who donated me money for a game. And then at the very end, or very beginning, I should say, they want you to confirm your ID. Now, normally for everybody, that would not be an issue. But if you're somebody who, I don't know, your ID just expired recently and you're still working on getting a new one because it costs a lot of money to get a new one, or you have to go get a new one at the state you're in now currently because they want you to take a driver's test and all that. And you're like, fuck that. So now you have to do something else. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've told you about that, though. Yeah. That being said, so in my case with PayPal, it's like, I don't have my ID. I'm taking the picture of it, and they're like, this ID's expired. How dumb is that? I was saying earlier, I was like, you know what's funny? You go to the gas station, and if you have an expired ID, they scan it. The worst they're going to tell you is, oh, it's expired. Did you know it was expired? And you'll go, oh, shit, I didn't know. Or, yeah, I'm getting a new one soon. Either of those answers will work, and then they go like this. Yep. Well, and they look at your date of birth and they go, "You're good," because it's the same fucking thing. It's the same thing. Nothing's changed. I didn't turn into a different person. I didn't morph all of a sudden. I'm no longer part of this system because the expiration date on my ID has passed. It's all the same. I'm still 6'1". I'm still fucking whatever it says on there. That is still my date of birth. I didn't get born in a different day now because my ID expired. Sell me the goddamn alcohol. Confirm I am this person. Suck my dick. It's that easy. It really is.
I can't tell you how many times in Ohio they wouldn't sell me cigarettes because my ID was expired.
So stupid.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was in here yesterday.
Yeah, did something change all of a sudden? Well, if it doesn't work, I'm like, doggy, how many times do I watch you guys just ask people your date of birth or just look at the card and go, thank you, and type it in?
Yeah,
so what's the difference?
Like, why do you have to scan it?
Yeah, so today you scanned it and now all of a sudden I'm fucked? Fuck you. It's the dumbest system ever in this world, and they really need to get rid of that shit. Be adults. You can't get rid of it, so everybody just be adults. How about that? Be a fucking adult. Look at the person and be like, wow, this guy's bald with a beard. I mean, there's no way he's 12. Right. There's no way he's 16. Bald with a full beard.
There's no way he's...
That's crazy. That's insane. I mean, and you weren't bald at the time. I mean, to be fair, you were balding.
I was balding, yeah.
Oh, was he a 16-year-old who's balding with a full beard and coming in disheveled from his lawn job? Suck my dick. That's absolutely insane mentality to have. And same for you, PayPal. Same for you. Because all PayPal wants is the photo. They want the photo. But as I explained to you last night, Ian, and as I'm about to explain to everybody else, they're retarded because they're putting up this fight. Oh, your ID's expired. That's not gonna work. Nope, no birth certificate. Nope, only passports, fucking green cards, or fucking your actual ID, or get the fuck out. And then you're like, okay, hey, guess what? I'm gonna give you my girlfriend's ID. And I'm going to have her take a picture of her face. And PayPal was like, fuck yeah, welcome aboard. Like,
works. This scans. This is the same person.
I mean, like, literally, they just let people steal from me. They were just like, anybody, you could have signed on to my PayPal account, taking a picture of your ID and your face, and they would have been like, thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Like, yep, I am Joe.
It's insane. This country needs to fix the ID issue. That's insane. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm on one. All right. Sorry, that was what I wanted to bring up before the fight, before we talk about the fights. Now let's talk about UFC Mexico. Mexico. So first of all, I like there was an interview with Sean O'Malley being like, I wanted to be on that card, man. I'm part Mexican. Have you seen this?
No.
So fucking funny. He goes, I'm part Mexican, man. And then he's with Ariel Helwani, and Helwani, he's like, you have Mexican descent in you, do you? And he's like, I didn't know. And then he goes, yeah, man, my wife and my daughter. And then he goes, right, that's right. Your wife is Mexican, correct? And he goes, that's right, man. So I'm like, Sean, I know you must be trolling because there's no way you think that's how it works.
Well, it's like, what's his name, adopting the black kid,
Michael Chandler,
and now he's
and now he's the face of Black History Month.
Yeah,
same. You're right. UFC just doing shit by default.
That's ridiculous.
My thoughts on this card so far, or over after the night, is that so the crowd was insane. Literally,
yeah,
we're gonna talk about
great.
We're gonna talk about that more later on. They were great from the get go. I was watching from the very first fight, wild. And they were, if I like it that I like if you go to if you watch a fight that has the early prelims, they didn't even have early prelims, but the first fight on the prelims is usually empty seats, pretty quiet. It doesn't matter if they're in Vegas or New York. It's all, nobody, unless you're people like me or Ian or true fight fans, you show up right there. You show up early at 6 p.m. and you start drinking. Yeah.
And then you start to commence to down booze like it's water.
Yes. So from the get-go, they were cheering, going crazy. Mexico is one of my favorite audiences they go to. I'd still say my favorite audience they go to is like London, when they go to London or anywhere in the UK. I mean, they're on time with their chants. They're singing songs. They're having a great time. So right from the get-go, from the start of the prelims, it was looking like it was going to be a very, how should I say this? Like, you would think it says KO, TKO. Not necessarily the case. Eric Silva fucking immediately blew his MCL. Like, so quick blew his MCL. This was a bad night for the fighters. Yeah, so he pretty early on stepped back, and I don't think he got kicked or anything, and he kind of stepped back and buckled.
He just stepped weird.
Yeah, they were in a transit. They were exchanging in the middle. He kind of stepped back. It looked like he got rocked. He kind of got rocked, but really he was like, I can't fucking stand.
Yeah.
They grappled for a minute, and then they went down, and he just kind of did the. He was yelling in pain, and then turtling up, and so they were like, call it, and then unfortunately, and that was a good fight. But I'm telling you what, Muhammad Naimov was gonna destroy him one way or the other.
Either way.
Yeah, he was looking good out there. And I just like to go ahead and pick from some of the fights that I found interesting. We're not going to talk about every single fight on this card, as there was a lot of fights on this card. It was a pretty stacked card for Mexico. I mean, hey, there's no shortage of Mexicans. Am I right? Yeah. Am I right? Any hoodle dealer.
I like how they throw a guy from Peru and France in there. They're just like, a little diversity.
They're like, that'll work. I was going to talk about I was going to say Ronaldo. I'm so caught up on Brazilian when I see R's. I'm like PTSD. I'm like, Ronaldo. It's H's. Ronaldo Rodriguez.
Thing about the letter.
That's what's crazy about the R's in Portuguese. There's nothing. They're just like, it's said like an H. And I'm like, do you want to give some kind of indication? They're like no.
Okay.
Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Dennis Bondar was an amazing fight. Bondar had an incredible weird way of fighting where he would and Dominic pointed out too, he would turtle up real tight. Like when he would get punched just a little bit, he would stand in front of him and just completely close his guard like that and shell up, but it was not working, unfortunately. It looked like it was going to do good, but Rodriguez would just be like, really? And then go body head. And then eventually got the sub. Also, Ronaldo Rodriguez with the tooth mouth guard was insane. His mouth guard was it looked like gums and teeth. So he had like weird teeth on it.
That's weird.
It was.
I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, I was bringing it up, and then the commentators said something about it too. I was telling Darnell, I was like, "Is that man not have a mouth guard in? Is that just what his teeth look like?" I was like, "No way, ain't no way." And then the commentators were like, "Yeah, imagine staring down that mouth guard." And I'm like, "Oh, what a interesting mouth guard choice." I want fucked up teeth on my mouth guard. Okay.
Your mouth guard, buddy.
Yep. Zaim was a very boring fight. Also for us, Zaim was disappointed, so much so that his corner had to come over there and be like, "Come on, man, come on." But I just wanted to point that out. That fight was boring though, so nothing really to talk about there. Edgar Chariz is the first to actually bring some hype to Mexico. I was like laughing so hard because, you know, Ronaldo Rodriguez, actually I should say, was the first one to get a finish as a Mexican fighter on the card. But when Edgar came, first of all, it just must be like a fan favorite type thing. They probably like Edgar more. He's probably been around longer or something like that. But when he came out with the bandolier and everything, everybody was like, this guy's the best.
It was the bandolier. You got to cheer for that.
Yeah,
it's
for
cool.
real. And
some Wild West shit.
He had the bandana, the Mexican bandana on. It was, I mean, man was ready to go to war for sure. So yeah, he really got it started with that, but then it unfortunately just fell off again. Only kind of Jesus Aguilar and Mendoca. Yeah, Mendoca. Mexico versus Brazil again. They were doing heavy Mexico versus Brazil right back. Three Mexico versus Brazil right off the card, right off the rip there. That's crazy. And Mexico went 2 for 3. So Mateus Mendoca versus Jesus Aguilar. Very good fight, very scrappy fight. I was kind of leaning towards Mendoca winning that fight, but Jesus does pull off the win anyway. But the fight that is more important to talk about above that was the headliner of the prelims, which is, I mean, things got crazy here. Things started getting crazy. Quinones versus Barcelos, or Barcelos. God damn it.
Barcelos.
My bad. Yeah.
Well, you know, I would have butchered it.
Oh yeah.
That's why I'm like, come on, give it to me.
So Barcelos comes out and they immediately start talking about how they're like, oh yeah, like he's been getting a lot of love from the Mexican crowd. He's been showing a lot of respect. He came in being loved. Dude, they were booing the fuck out of him. They were booing the shit out of him after that fight. Dude, it was crazy.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you fucking blatantly grab the cage like fucking 4 times.
Yeah.
And one really significant one, like that changed the whole dynamic of that scramble.
100%. I would say Quinones was going to win that fight by decision. He was easily piecing him up. He was wobbled against the fence plenty of times, Barcelos. And then the whole thing, every time they grappled, it was just sketchy. And yeah, grabs the cage 4 times. And immediate one where he was about to get taken down and grabbed that should have immediately been a stop, point taken.
Yeah.
Fucking now don't do it again. And then instead he did it 3 more times. And I'm like, no point taken, no nothing. I understand it was really towards the end of the round, so it would have been like, it wouldn't have been pointless to take a point. It would have been rightful to do that. But I understand not wanting to stop it so quickly. Because then maybe Quinones could have gotten another. He could have maybe gotten, but he can't if he keeps grabbing the fence.
Yeah, well, the biggest one where he like literally was about to like pull the whole fence down. It looked like. Yeah. Oh fuck! I'm fucking Christian would have taken him down.
I like how I said his name 4 times, and you're like, I think in your brain you were like,
I looked at it. No, I looked at the letters, and I'm like, nope.
Quinones. It's Quinones.
No, he definitely would have gotten, you know, another takedown and possibly, you know, some sort of other, you know, submission attempt or something else, you know.
Could have, and instead, what happened? Barcelos grabbed until he was able to get the advantage. No problem there, and then he gets the sub, and it's like, I mean, you're just hated, bro.
Bullshit.
And especially, I don't like that. Like, you know, no, and this will come into play later, but it really is like, you as a fighter, you really do need to own up to that. Like afterwards, like there was going to be no fight interview for him clearly, but like afterwards, you really have to be like, my bad, guys. That was my bad. I fucked up. I shouldn't have done that. You have to, otherwise you're just hated. And now you're just hated. I don't care if you do an interview tomorrow on fucking some news place in Brazil. I don't give a fuck. You need to say something like immediately. If you're talking in your own home country about like, oh yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I'm like, I don't care. That's days later, motherfucker. Go fuck yourself. I don't care.
Yeah.
A fight goes down in the audience.
Was there a fight? I didn't see the video.
Yes, I did send that video in, but they obviously didn't show it on UFC, and nobody really knew. But we assumed there was a scrap going.
It seemed like it.
Now the real question of what we're gonna have to find out later is who and why, because it was very interesting. yeah, Barcelos, go fuck yourself. Please never come back to the UFC. I don't like you. Chris Duncan unfortunately gets submitted. I realized when they introduced Chris Duncan, I was like, hey, it's Chris Duncan. That's what I always say, Chris Duncan. Absolutely got destroyed. Absolutely got fucked. Didn't stand a chance against Taurus. The moment they locked up, I'm like in WWE. The moment they came to the middle, I'm like, damn, not a chance. And it's unfortunate when you see that from these fighters. You're like, damn, you paired them up horribly for this.
Yeah.
Also, like I said, just Mexico's such a hard place to fight in. The fucking, like, what is it? The elevation or whatever, like the fucking where they fight at. It's horrible for them all. It's just bad cardio for everybody. Everybody usually feels sick when they get in. It's just bad overall. You got to get there early. You got to get there weeks early. That's what they say. That's what Verdum did.
Yeah, to acclimate to the climate.
Mm-hmm. And that's what they've said it before. Like, it doesn't matter if you're Mexican, if you were born there, if you grew up there for 10 years, 15 years.
Oh, yeah, no.
If you're not there and you're living in the States or whatever, and you go back, you're going to get fucked up. Like, period.
And well, that's the same, like, if you go from, like, Florida up to Arizona,
right,
or like Las Vegas, like even that's a big jump in climate. So it'd be wise to go there like at least 5 days early.
For sure. And we've seen it with when Verdum versus Kane. Kane showed up like a couple days before the fight. Like, I got this, gassed, tired, dead.
He's like, oh shit.
Verdum, I've been here for 3 weeks. I feel great.
Yeah,
crazy.
I'm used to it. Makes sense.
On the main card, Daniel Zellhuber versus Francisco Prado. Almost had to fucking cut Prado's eye open. That shit was crazy. Very scrappy fight between these two. Daniel Zellhuber clearly won and edged it out, but Francisco Prado, a damn beast, stayed in there all the way through. And unfortunately, his corner, you don't need your eyes. You don't need your eyes.
Use your heart.
I'm pretty sure.
I can't see with my heart.
They look at him, they go, remember your training. And then it comes to a flashback of him doing blindfolded martial arts and shit. And
he's like,
they start the round and he goes,
closes his one eye that's slightly open.
Yeah. Zellhuber just runs at him flying knee. The coaches are like, I don't think he understood what we were saying.
It's not what we were saying at all.
I said you don't need your eyes. I didn't say don't use them. I didn't say don't use your only good one.
We only trained like that as a joke.
We
were just fucking around.
The heart of the fighter to keep going is great, and that's good on him. But it is 100% shame on his corner for not calling it, for not saying something at all. Instead, they just told him, you don't need your eye. You need to go out there and win. Give it heart. Dude, fire your coaching staff. They want you hurt. They want to use you up until you die.
Yeah, I mean, again, but like the war that these guys were putting on, it was, I'm sure from their eyes, they were like, oh no, he was kind of winning. So they wanted him to keep doing that. But
I completely see that, but I'm letting you know right now, if I was your coach and you was in a fight like that and your eye was completely shut and your other eye was on its way, I would be like, I don't care what you say, but I'm telling him to stop. And you'd be like, no. And I'd be like, yes, I am. I was like, you can go argue with him all you want. I was like, but I'm your coach and I'm going to tell him that he can't continue anymore because this is not what's going to happen. I'm not going to have my mans beat to death because y'all want to see a war. You've seen a war enough. His eye is shut. He can't see anymore. I'm not going to fuck up his orbital bone.
Or try to take him down.
I mean, yeah,
change up tactics a little bit.
You know what, Ian? You have a very, very good point as a coach. You could have just been like that coach could have, if anything at all, he could have been like, go for a takedown. That should have been the only thing he said in that case.
I'm like, you can't see real good, then grappling.
Grab his leg, take him down. Let's just lay on the ground for the rest of this fight. There was 3 minutes left. Let's just lay down until we're done.
Nope. Submission attempt. Nope. But give it your all out there, boy.
Ugh.
Swing for the goddamn swing for the ropes. I don't know. I forgot what the expression is.
Swing for the fishes. It's not it either, but I was saying wrong.
I think I was gonna say swing for the skies, but that's not what it is. Hands in the sky.
the best fight of the night, Yair Rodriguez, Brian Ortega. Brian Ortega literally rolls his ankle, jumping in the octagon like an idiot. I mean, just like I said, this whole night was cursed. We lost Raul Rosas Jr. And Ricky Torcillo.
Yeah.
I would love to say that I know what happens, but the first video I clicked on today that said this is Raul Rosas Jr. explaining what happened and why he missed the fight tonight, and then it was like a zoom up of his terrible looking face and the Tasmanian devil voice. And I was like, God damn it. I was like, you know what? I don't even care anymore. I don't even care what happened. But that is going to, apparently, they're going to try to reschedule that for next week. What a bummer for them. They're like, this is not my home country.
Right. There goes all the hype.
Yep. That would have been crazy. Especially, they wanted Raul Rosas Jr. does that, the little yell. He does that. He does, and the crowd would have went nuts. The crowd would have lost them. They would have fought again.
Another fight would have broke out. They would have been like.
I kept saying, there's no doubt that is. I kept saying to Darnell, I was like, I guarantee you, there no jokes with how many like full blown like Mexican songs were being played, mariachi songs were being played. There had to have been an over 100 count of people in that audience that were crying. You know how Mexican dudes begin when they hear that song kick on? They was showing them like videos of them at the bars and stuff like that, and it's always and then it's a guy turns around, he's like, and he's all crying, and you're like, what? And then somebody's like, the song's about like love and like, it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like a party song. I have no idea.
They all kind of sound the same to me.
I was hearing their music. I'm like 100% people are crying in that audience. Like a lot of people are crying in there. By the way, every time you look up, you look like you work in a business office because you look up like, yes, okay. Like somebody's walking by your office and you're like, okay.
Oh,
hi. Anyway, Brian Ortega, Yair Rodriguez. Yair Rodriguez had a full-blown advantage coming into that with Brian Ortega rolling his ankle so quickly. I mean, immediately got he got like a handicap boost in the fight, if you would. And still, Brian Ortega. Here's the thing. People always forget about that. They talk about Brian Ortega and the shots he's taken and everything like that in a fight or what's going on. And I'm like, you guys forget to mention that this guy can take 5 rounds worth of beatings. We watched him take a beating for 5 rounds multiple times. He doesn't go down. So you got to submit him. And guess what? That's almost impossible to do as well. But Brian Ortega
he'll end up submitting you.
And he did. And crazy he did with the arm triangle. So cinched up so nicely. Just scrambles that ended up to the ground. And then you saw once he got to that like the side control and he put the knee down to lock down the arm, you were like, oh, he sees something. And he immediately sunk into that arm triangle. And as we explained to Darnell, like, so here was my theory on it, because he chokes him out pretty bad, chokes him out real good. Surprisingly, Yair didn't go to sleep. I thought he was full blown knocked out.
Yeah.
So my theory on it was, as I explained to Darnell, I said, if you've never done that choke before, it's the most comfortable choke to do. You're laying on your belly, essentially on your side. You're hugging somebody like as if you were hugging a pillow. That's what it's like, that equivalent. Like when you're at sleep at night and you accidentally grab a pillow, or you're sleeping with a pillow, you just squeeze it as tight as
like a comfortable position.
It's so nice. So you can squeeze, and you're really bringing your arms in, and you have so much room, and you can it's a deadly choke. You can really it always feels like you're gonna pop somebody's head off like that, especially with the way it looks. You're trapping their arm in their head and their neck, and you're just squeezing. You feel like something's gonna pop or break. That was my theory on why he did it so hard and why he got it. So I was like, maybe he's just got it in such a deep, clean position, and it feels so good and natural that he was just like, let's go. I'm locking in. But really what happened, I found out today, I don't know if you watched that video of him explaining it. He just was saying that like because of the altitude and like his ears kept like clogging up, and like he had to do the thing where he had to keep popping.
They kept popping.
Yeah. He said that he can't, when he was down on the ground like that was happening, plus the crowd, so he couldn't hear a fucking thing.
Plus getting squeezed.
Yes, so Brian is like, so it's like he couldn't hear anything while he's squeezing. So he said since he couldn't hear the crowd, he can't hear anything. He can't hear the ref. He's like, my best option is to squeeze and squeeze until it's done. So he said that's why like when he felt the tap, he wasn't quite sure, so he just kept going, and that's why. And that's also why Now we're bringing it back to fuckface McGee, Barcelos. Even though Brian Ortega got a clean victory, he told Mark Goddard, "Don't raise my hand. Don't raise my hand at the victory." He told him, he said, out of respect for Yair, I don't want my hand raised because he felt bad for choking him past the tap.
Oh,
respectful. Nobody wants to do that. I don't want to choke you. I don't want to choke you unconscious. I want to get the tap and get out of there. So
I still think that's kind of silly, though.
As silly as it may be, again, in comparison to Barcelos full-blown cheating and then just being like, "Let's go, I'm the best," and you're like, no.
Comparatively, it's not as well. It's not bad at all. Yeah. But I just think it's silly.
A little bit silly, but I appreciate the respect, and also shouts out Mark Goddard, who like got it pretty quickly. He was like, "Oh, okay, yes, sorry." Like Mark, because he like normally I feel like another ref would have been like, "Dude, shut up, I'm raising your hand because that's my job." But instead, Mark Goddard was like, "No problem, no problem," and then instead he just kind of brought them together when they did the announcement, so that way they can just hug and do their thing. And then Yair raised his hand for him, so. Respect it. You're in another man's home country. I know Brian Ortega is Mexican as well, but you're in that man's home country. You're doing, you did what some people might have saw as dirty, and he has no time to explain it. So good man, that T City, good man.
Knowing it's an accident, just shit happens.
Yeah, you know that now. But if you were a Mexican fan watching, you wouldn't be thinking that because white privilege.
How do you know I'm not a Mexican fan?
Because you said that right there. That's something a white guy says. How do you know I'm not?
How do you know?
Because I'm also white. Yeah.
How do you know?
Shut up. Moreno versus Royval 2. I like the stat that they pointed out that my bad. I'm so insensitive. Brandon Moreno. This is his like umpteenth rematch fight. He's fought in Figueiredo 4 times. He's fought in who was it before? I can't remember who else they said, but they
rematch master.
I want to go see who the other guy is that he fought. I think 2 or 3 times. Pantoja. He's fought Pantoja 3 times if you count Tough. And then now he's fought in Royval twice, and it's like, dude, please fight somebody else, but also just take some time off.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I thought Moreno looked horrible last night. I think that he had a very decisive game plan that he did not want to move away from. And Royval's team clearly saw it and maneuvered around it. And Moreno's team was just like, keep doing that. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep winging in for that overhand right because he's standing tall, which, again, Royval's corner adjusted to. And then he was taking steps outside in the octagon. He was working the
rotating
fence, and it's like, but then he would fake burst in for a feint, but then he would burst in and he would just do the overhand. So no matter what feint you're doing, you're not changing up your strikes. You're just doing the same strike. So it doesn't matter if you feint or not. He just needs to set up defense for the same thing over and over again. And I'm not a former bantamweight champion. I'm not a former flyweight champion. I'm not Brandon Moreno and I'm not Royval, but I'm just saying, if I'm Moreno's corner, I'm like, let's stop with the overhand right bullshit. Let's do something. You could keep the overhand right. Let's do something else to set it up, though.
Yeah. And also once Moreno he got rocked, I think it was like the second round, he got rocked pretty bad. And like, it was like he was trying to keep his game plan going, but like just not doing like from the first round. Like there's a definite change in like his strategy, like as if it like half of it went out the window.
Because whatever he was doing wasn't working, so they just kept with the baseline of overhand rights. Meanwhile, Royval, his corner was telling him, throw knees during your combinations, back out during the combination. Dean Thomas and Dominic Cruz are both talking about, and Paul Felder, all talking about, he needs to break from the combinations. He's standing tall in the combinations, and that's why Moreno's clipping him standing tall. And his corner caught that, and his corner told him, even though, to Darnell's credit, it was like, it was so hard for him to do all these things because they're changing so much, and he's trying to think about it all whilst fighting. So it's like not easy to do, but Royval did it. He started jumping out of his after combinations. He started throwing more feints to bring Moreno in. He started throwing knees when they asked him to throw knees, even though not as much as I would like to see, but still started throwing knees. He adjusted every step of the way, and I honestly started respecting Royval a little bit more. I came to this fight not liking Brandon Royval, and then first of all, he comes out to Mexican music, and then it turns into fucking, ooh, baby, I like it raw.
Oh, yeah, geez.
That shit was tight. I was like, yo, that slaps. He comes out to Mexican music, it breaks once he gets to the entrance, and then it's like, ooh, baby, I like it raw. I'm like, yo, that's pretty tight. And then he came in, and he put on a scrappy fucking fight. Really good fight. I love to see somebody who listens to their corner. And also fucked up his ankle, too. Fucked up his ankle in the fight, too. The back of his knee, I should say. Remember, I don't know, it was off of, he threw a high kick, he slipped, and when he did that, he slipped and fucked up the back of his knee. So, and that was in first round. So afterwards, he was putting it in the back, he was trying to shake it out, fought through that, was throwing the left leg over and over again, throwing high kicks with it, just throwing it, which is, in my opinion, smart to do. If it's fucked up, throw it. Do you think you broke it? You think you might have injured it? Yeah, throw it. Throw it.
Make it worse.
Fuck it. I mean, you can't show weakness, otherwise they're going to go after it. And he did perfectly. He kept Moreno's mind off of it. He kept throwing it, and eventually he was feeling fine on it. Now, I'm sure today he's fucked. I'm sure his leg is fucked today.
He's like big limp.
Yeah.
What did he hurt on it? The back of his knee.
It's probably just where the pain was coming specifically, but at one point when he sat down in the corner, they were asking him where to ice it. Do you want it on your ankle, your foot, or your knee, or what? And he said, back of my knee. And they were like, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, he might have hyperextended something there, might have pulled a muscle. I mean, it could have been anything. Like I said, it was definitely off the collapse after he slipped. He threw a high kick, slipped, and so probably just a pull, if anything, but obviously, if it was that bad, he probably would end up losing.
Yeah, he wouldn't have continued to fight. Yeah, for sure.
So full-blown shouts out Royval. I'm actually excited to see his next fight. I didn't like his little persona at the end, being a badass. I didn't really like that calling out. You know, he called out Pantoja. Let's run that shit back. I like how he said at one point MFer, but then he kept saying fuck after a while. I'm like,
all right,
it's not you, bro. It's not for you.
He wants to be a heel.
Hey, you know
Did
what?
I say that right, Joe?
You did say that right. You know what? It made me turn. I was like, you know what? If he wants to be a heel, I'm for it. You never mind. See, it's little things like that. Changed my mind entirely. I don't like it. I don't like this character. Well, he's just trying to be a heel. Oh shit, he is trying to be a heel.
Let's see how this goes.
You know what? Let me dial it back.
We'll see how this plays out.
Next week's card is in Vegas. They're back in Vegas. Oh, shouts out the announcement that they're doing UFC 309 in the Sphere in Vegas. That's going to be crazy.
The Sphere.
Yeah, that's going to be wild. Like, I'm assuming that the fights are also going to be played on the Sphere as well. I'm going to assume.
That would be wild.
Yeah, you know the people that like have those fancy ass like suites and hotels like that are like right there next to the Sphere, and they always be taking videos of it. I'm like, you know how sick that's gonna be? Just hanging out on your fucking balcony, just smoking, drinking, watching the fights on the
Watching
Sphere.
it on a giant dome.
That's gonna be crazy. I hope they do that. I hope that's part of it. But I know they're gonna be fighting inside of the Sphere, which is also going to be crazy because it's also inside fucking. They have it's both ways.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Like the projection or whatever.
Yeah, they use it for shows and like music shows and all that shit. So it does a lot of. It's gonna be crazy.
Oh, it's gonna do a bunch of shit.
You imagine just like you're sitting there watching, all of a sudden all the fucking graphic comes up for the next fighters, and it's like all over. You're like, whoa, holy shit! I can see their stats in 8D. Holy shit!
Don't do shrooms.
Yeah, right. Holy fuck! Yeah,
you're
they're
gonna be like
go freaking out. But that's UFC 309. Next week is UFC Apex in Las Vegas. Rosenstrike versus Gaziv. That is a banger of a heavyweight fight. I mean, that's definitely it. Don't expect that fight to go 3 rounds. No way. And one of these guys is getting knocked out for sure.
At least we fucking hope so.
Yeah, it really suck. It would really, really suck if one of these heavyweights came in thinking that they're going to wrestle. I'm going to be so pissed off. And no offense, but it might be Rosenstrike. I think because Rosenstrike's been working on, like his whole rounded MMA game for quite longer than Gaziv. So I think he might come in and be like, first of all, he's from Bahrain. I mean, like,
where the fuck is that?
A place where they breed dangerous men.
They breed monsters.
So I mean, it might be smart for Rosenstrike to try to do some wrestling in this, but I mean, hey, let's do it. Let's put on a show, guys. Oh, and this is an early one too. Starts at 12 p.m. All right, let's talk about some of the fights on this card. First of all, Sahabi's younger brother, one of the Sahabis, is fighting at bantamweight versus Javid Basharat. Okay, all right, that's a good fight. That is a good fight to pick. That's a good fight to make. Basharat coming off of a could not continue, and Sahabi, one of the Sahabis. If you didn't know, it's oh, dude, he's on a tear right now too. He beat Ricky Tercios 2 fights ago. But he just recently KO'd Arichi Long, recently KO'd Rodriguez. Sahabi, famously little brothers of Frost Sahabi, who is George St. Pierre's head coach and one of the best coaches of all time, known around the world. And his little brother is no joke. So I'm definitely saying Sahabi's keeping up with that fucking tear. He's gonna get another win. I'm even gonna say by submission. I'm gonna say Sahabi by submission.
I think he's gonna knock him out. Second round.
You heard it here first. Let's see here. Umar Nurmagomedov. That is I believe that is one of the actual cousins of Khabib. Now, if I'm not
he
mistaken,
looks like a fucking supervillain.
Yeah, he does. He does look like a supervillain in a movie. And he's going against
mildly terrifying.
He's going against, I mean, who is this guy? This guy's first fight in the UFC. Bekzat Almakhan.
There's not even a picture.
No stats, no nothing. Bekzat Almakhan. Well, that does kind of put it in a weird spot for Umar, because obviously it's hard to train for a guy who doesn't have a lot. He only has like amateur tape. Also, this fight's fixed. You're telling me I'm just supposed to believe some guy named Almakhan isn't like one of your brothers, one of your cousins, one of your friends from Dagestan or something like that? Shut the fuck up. Fixed fight. Calling it here.
Just trying to get another Nurmagomedov on the boards.
Crazy. But Umar is crazy. That this is going to be a fight for him. A number 13 guy against a guy who's never had a fight in the UFC before. Kind of a little bit weird to make that fight, but I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Umar's taking that fight. All right. Next fight we can talk about here is Jamie Pickett versus Eric Anders. Eric Anders, I do not recommend this fight for you, my guy. I really do not. Fucking Jamie Pickett is a beast, and he's a farm boy. He works on on a ranch all the time. Now, granted, what happened with this Bo Nickel and Pickett fight? I thought he got destroyed in that fight. They're just not showing what happened? Or did that fight get stopped? What happened there? Bo Nickel submitted him. What the fuck are we doing with that? That was weird. I was just going to be like, he fought Bo Nickel, but it didn't show like the win or loss for some reason. But I'm like, so he
doesn't show it on mine.
He is coming off of 3 losses, but it doesn't change a thing. It doesn't change a thing. He lost a decision fight to Josh Fremd. I mean, come on. And then you get submitted by the best up-and-coming guy, Bo Nickel. I mean, no shit. That makes sense. But I'm telling you right now, Jamie Pickett is about to start. He's changing things around. He's going to come around, and he's going to knock out Eric Anders. No doubt. Eric Anders is old. Let's see how old Eric Anders is.
Yeah, boy and Nightwolf. I love their names.
Eric Anders. He is 36 years old. Nope.
Too old.
Nope. Yep, you're losing. You're losing, my guy. Sorry. Jamie Pickett about to get back into the win column. That's all I'm saying.
I believe it.
Let's see. You got to fight. I've said it before, and if Darnell were here, he would rip me a new one. I just can't stand so many flyweight fights. And it's, I'm not even blaming this card. It's just the fact that we just had a card in Mexico where it was all flyweights and bantamweights. And I mean, I don't want to see another fucking flyweight fight for another 2 months, to be honest with you. I could do without any of these fucking flyweights. So frustrating. Listen, it's not an ignorant thing if you know the facts. Like, I'm not being ignorant and being like, these guys they don't have any knockout power. when you get into that octagon, something happens to you guys, and you realize that you're matched, and you do have knockout power, but it's at your limit with this person. Like, you can't, and it's just constantly, fucking bullshit back and forth. They're scrappy fights, but it's 3-round fights. It's just, I'm tired of seeing these little dudes. Is it so wrong to want to see some fucking blood? Is it so wrong?
No, not at all.
Thank you. So anyway, I'll go over that because I want to talk about the co-main event. Very well deserved for this man off of just memes alone. But I mean, because he just recently got the samurai knockout. This is Tyson Pedro, who just recently knocked out Turkaj, and he did the fucking I was like, yo, this guy's him. So been waiting for this guy to fight again. Been wondering when he's gonna fucking fight again. Super hyped to see him. If Vitor Petrino fucking beats him, I'm losing my shit. He better do it like a samurai, like O2, like he kneels down and acts like he's got a sword on his knees or something like that and bows. I'd be like, all right, this guy's cool.
Oh, I thought when they if he loses,
what is that called? I forget. They had to cut down the middle. Shouts out Keanu Reeves. I remember that movie Samurai when he did that.
Starts with an S.
What is it called? Seppuku. Yep. Yeah. You know what's funny is I even though the name slips me, I've known what that is since I was like 7 or whatever. Because my father watched that movie Samurai with Keanu Reeves in it, and I was like, yeah, and like he fucking like. It's either Keanu Reeves or Christian Bale, either way, but it's one of them in there. And then at the end of it, they kill themselves. And my father was like, Seppuku. That's called seppuku. That's where they killed themselves with honor. I was like,
I'm 7.
I was 7. Seppuku. I'm 7. I'm gonna go play fucking Kingdom Hearts 1 now. I don't know.
Hopefully my character doesn't do that.
I'm gonna go play NBA Street Volume 2. Thank you for that. Yeah, Tyson Pedro. I mean, just off of liking, but also off of coming off of big heat, big hopes for him. Let's go, Tyson Pedro. Let's see another knockout.
Again, agreed.
Thank you, Ian. And that's all we really got to talk about on this fight. There's a lot of fighters I'm not sure about, and those are the ones that we skipped. So as always, we always like to tell people and encourage people that if you would like to tell us what you think about those fights, what fights we've missed that you think we should be hyping up and be talking about, you let us know down below in the comments. Talk to us about it. Let us know what we missed. Tell us what about our picks that we've made about the past fights and these fights. Please stay active in those comments. And since I have you here saying that, guys, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast. Subscribe to all our podcasts, Growing Up Kayfabe, Pocket Beers. Subscribe to all of them so that way we have more incentive to bring you what you want. Because you can tell us right here. But also, Ian.
Click that bell.
Yeah. And we'll wrap up on this fight card. That's UFC Apex, March 2nd. Let's move over to Street Shenanigans. That's right, everybody. It's your favorite segment on any fight show on YouTube. It's called Street Shenanigans, where we bring you the craziness, the bullshit, and the Octagon control from the streets. We're going over fights that are outside of a hotel, outside of a concert, outside of an event. I mean, they're anywhere around the world, and we break them down for you to let you know what could have happened, what should have happened, what would have happened if they fucked around and found out, or maybe if they didn't. We're trying to let you know maybe some jiu-jitsu they could have used, some different type of boxing style, maybe some different type of combat, something they could have done better to help them win this fight, all for educational purposes for you, so that way you can learn and help do better in your daily life when you're throwing hands. See what I did there? But the most important thing to know about these videos, Ian?
YouTube, they're fine.
Yeah.
They're all right.
Yeah.
100%. They're A-okay.
Everybody's been checked on. Full-blown reports. A-okay. These are all fellow Helldivers. You think we would just let them not be okay?
They're just doing what they're trained to do. That's all.
It's just Helldiver training. That's it. Okay, so in Mexico this weekend, during the Aguilar fight, a fight broke out. A fucking fight broke out. And who knows why? I'm sure we'll find out more as the week goes on. But right here in the audience, you see just my theory when I heard that there was a fight was like, there's some rich white dude on vacation here, and he's pissed because all the Mexican fighters keep winning, and he's just like trying to be the snot, and he's like, fuck you guys suck. But as you look into the crowd, it is all Mexican guys. So I don't know what was said. Maybe, because what was it? It was this was Mexico versus Brazil, I think. Yeah, so maybe there were some Brazilian dudes in the crowd getting rowdy about it. So who knows? Like I said, we'll find out. I'm sure we may or may not find out what happened later on. But let's see how this went down.
Oh, shit. That was a whole ass brawl, and everybody cheers for the old guy getting knocked out.
That was for Mexico. Okay.
Oh, dude,
pause.
Covered in beer.
Pause. That's got to be a Brazilian guy. The guy who got knocked out, that's got to be a Brazilian guy. I'm just saying only because of the how fancy he's dressed. Portuguese dudes love to dress up fancy to go out to these things. They love it. Now, this is just me guessing. This is just me racist guessing here. But I'm just saying, he's look at how the rest of the Mexican guys are dressed. That's how they dress when they go out fancy. They're like, unless they got
jeans and a nice polo.
Exactly. Button-up shirt. If they do, like the guy who knocked him out had a button-up shirt, but it's just a black button-up. Nothing big, no big deal. Like a lot of hats and stuff in the crowd. Then you got this guy, white, like fancy design button-up, brown khaki pants that look like brand new. Well, now they're not. Looks like he fucking shit himself.
Yeah, a little bit.
So pull it back and we'll play.
It's beer, guys. It's beer. I swear.
No, they put beer on me. I promise. So let's see. Yeah, we'll watch this through one more time and then we'll go to the other angle. I mean, this guy must have been. Okay, so I'm trying to see who all is scrapping. It's him and this dude who got his shirt taken off, and they're scrapping with everybody. It looks like.
Yeah, this whole fucking group.
Bam.
Oof.
Okay, but dude right there with the camera, he's Mexican. So I don't know what's going on anymore. Bruce Buffer declaring the winner in the background.
Nice.
Pause. It's them that like wait, like the second he says the winner, the guys who knocked him out are like, yeah,
you
winner.
was awesome. See, one of them did.
Smart. Yeah, it was 2 versus like 17.
Right? That's wild.
All right, let's see the other angle.
See this other angle.
Yeah. All right, from the top row. Yeah, they definitely started shit with the wrong group of people.
And the guy in the fancier button up, like from this angle, like you see him just like throwing these punches that are just not landing on anybody.
He's grabbed onto the wrong dude and he's throwing punches badly. He's wasted. He's fucking look. I mean, it was an easy shot that took him out.
He must have been trashed.
Oh yeah. Now I'll say this. See now, you see the guy with the big. So they had another person on their team too.
Yeah.
That guy, and he knocked somebody out. He knocked him backwards. Pull it back. Yeah.
Oh shit! Wow.
So watch big man in the checkered.
Bam! Right, he dropped somebody.
But he looks like he's just trying to get away. He's like, yo, let me go.
He's like, all right, I'm gonna drop this guy and I'm getting out of here.
Yeah. So he's got other dude, other chubby dude who has had his shirt off almost. What a scrap! What a scrap! I bet everything went back to normal after that too.
Oh yeah. In Mexico, they were like, we don't need to get the police involved. You guys just leave.
2 of them were police. No. Yeah, it was funny. Aguilar getting on the mic afterwards and being like, guys, calm down. We came here to fight, not to fight each other. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, buddy. Tell that to drunk Joe with some fucking goddamn Bosnian dude start stealing seats. I don't think so, pal. Not Seth Rollins. No. That's not how this works, pal. Hell yeah. Well, I agree. Don't go to the UFC to scrap. I've told it in our story before. Go there and have a good time. Try to avoid a scrap if you can because it's in the air. That's the problem. It's in the air. Dudes are looking for a scrap. And I'll say this that I've never pointed out about that story before. I think those dudes were looking for a scrap as much as I was.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, that's why they walked up first.
and they're intentionally stealing people's seats. They're walking around. They have their dad with them, as it looks like. That's fucking
Creepy
hilarious.
uncle.
Creepy uncle. Yep.
Oh my god.
This is an example of just what not to do in a street fight. Although also it looks like the Island Boy. It's not him apparently. I had to look into it. It does look like Island Boy though. It looks like one of the Island Boys.
Sure, it's not one of them.
I couldn't find anything that said it was. Dude, what a horrible.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not him. Oh.
Now let's pussy. I wish it was one of them. I wish it was so badly.
Yeah.
Those dudes do need to get knocked out. Yeah, horrible. I don't know what this is. I don't know what he's trying to do. And then he leans in. Let me say,
Was he gonna like hit him in the try
gut?
to hit him in the ribs or something?
Pause it
Like,
real quick. I want to say that I think what I think in his mind, what he was gonna do was this. You know, cover up, get in deep, body shot, and instead he went. He said, "Stop, stop," and then he got fucking clipped easy. Look at it one more time here.
and this other guy just smiling. He already
yeah,
knows.
'cause he knows this guy can't fight. Bam! Look, he just got him with a jab. He just got him with a jab. Pussy. My friend, you fought like a pussy, I gotta tell you. Not in the sense that you were a coward, you fought in the sense like you don't know how to... What the fuck was that? I mean, genuinely. Guys, if you're gonna get into a fight, you gotta commit.
Also, keep your hands up.
Keep your hands up. Keep those hands up. Alright. He told him one punch, and he did. He threw one punch.
Him. He warned him.
Man, gotta live with that. Gotta live with that. Now, this is something I talk about a lot with fights. That I love to see it when you see it. So we'll play it and then I'll explain it. Nice. Got caught with that jab. Reaching in. Realized he's getting outstruck a little bit. Bam! Yeah, he really didn't help out at the end there. He didn't help out his case at all. We'll go ahead and mute it now. And then, yeah, I already went. You can keep the volume on for you. I muted it. So yeah, pull it back. We'll let it play as I talk about this. So something I like about this is that what happens a lot in fights between, you know, people who don't know how to use any type of wrestling or grappling at all. Oftentimes, that person who does know how, even the slightest bit, goes in for the grapple, ends up dominating, and what's the first everybody's reaction? Yo, no, don't be grabbing. Hey. No, this is a fight. You telling me I have to stay in a box with him? Says who? Where's the fucking ref? Where's the regulations? Where's the Nevada? Where's the drug testers? Nowhere. So I'm going to grab him, I'm going to throw him, and I'm going to get him in a position where I'm going to beat his ass. And that's what that guy did. Was he a little disrespectful? 100%. You win twice if you're respectful, but he wanted to gain some respect. Also, when you're throwing people around there, I gotta say, guys, be a little conscious. You know, you're not trying to kill somebody out there, and that's dangerous if you're gonna throw somebody on concrete like that.
With his head at the ground, hit the concrete.
Yeah, real dangerous. But I understand the attitude. You know, there's clearly a lot of animosity between these guys, a lot of shit talk probably, and you know, probably not putting some respect on my man's name over here. And he did earn that respect. I'm telling you what, he's either going to get jumped or they're never going to fuck with him ever again, because they'll probably jump on being like, you know, oh, well, he grabbed him and shit like that. And it's like, yeah, I grabbed you. I beat your ass. I won.
Yeah, but that's the thing also in street fights is like going down like that. I mean, he's lucky that there wasn't like this other guy's friends around, because they surely would have just, you know, soccer kicked him in the head or something. No,
those are his friends. The one who's trying to stop him from grabbing up real quick. And the guys are, again, those, and I love.
Well, no, like other people, you know,
friends who are about it. You mean?
Yeah,
yeah. Dude, I would like to point out to that kid who got his ass beat too. I sound like the old head in those videos. I'm like, look at your friends. Look at your friends. They're all recording. Those are your boys. He's got one boy, and that's some girl who could be his girlfriend. Who knows? He's got one. He walked away. Look at your boys. All recording you. You got fucked up and they're all just recording you. They didn't do shit for you. That's your boys? That's your homies right there? I don't think so, man. Lesson learned right there. A lot of lessons to be learned right there. Don't fuck around with a kid who can grapple you. Don't fuck around and with some people who are just not going to help you. Who are just going to record. Don't fuck around with none of that shit. Put some respect on that kid's name. He fucked you up fair and square, fam. Fair and square. Easy. Took a couple extra licks. Hey, nobody says anything about Dan Henderson giving Michael Bisping an extra lick, do they? No, they put it on shorts and a banner. I don't think so.
They promote it.
Yeah. All right, you can pull that away. Good shit. A little rough there at the end, but like I said, it's what I like it's what I like to teach about those. Those are my favorite lessons to see. You know, when you want me to, if you want me to be real, like the whole way through, I'll be like, yeah, no. I think if he would have stood with that kid a little bit longer, that guy would have knocked him out probably. He clearly knew how to like gauge his distance in striking, but what that white kid knew, he knew how to gauge the distance and getting inside. So he bob weave, did some feints, got in there, grabbed him. Done. Lesson learned for everybody here. That's what I say. I say lesson learned. I say, you know what? Tuesday. All right. Thanks everybody for watching this episode of Throwing Hands Podcast. Make sure you follow us on our social media, Super Sour JIR. I already told you where to find us on Twitch. Make sure you go over there and follow Hell Divers today, Hell Divers forever, for democracy.
For democracy.
There you go. It's a little bit better. I mean, we're gonna kill you to be enthusiastic about one thing. Ian.
Welcome to Throwing Hands.
I was enthusiastic.
You're playing touch, but
All right. We'll see you guys next week. Stay throwing hands. Peace.
Balls was hot.